Today I'm going to go over worm farming, or what some people call worm compost. It's not only good for the environment and the earth, but it can save you money. It can save room in your trash can. It can in the county landfill. Plus, you can make money. You can really make some money by just growing some worms. You know, a lot of people don't want them in their house, but they don't smell bad or nothing if you do it right. But you can really make a lot more money than you might think. You can put them anywhere, under your porch, in your shed, as long as they don't get too hot, your garage, attached or unattached, cover them up real good in the wintertime. And, you know, you can just put like a little sign up once it gets going good. And believe me, people come by, especially on the weekends or long weekends, they'll buy every worm you can dig them, and then you get out of your bin, and they'll pay a good price for them, fit for just for fishing. I started out just doing it for the compost, for potted plants, for a little garden, big garden. But it quickly, it became a lot more fun, and it got to be a hobby for me. And I started I bought from a local farmer. He had an ad on Craigslist. When I went out there, I didn't really know what kind of worms. I did a little reading up on red wigglers. Well, anyway, he said he'll sell me 1,000, or as I wanted, but I thought I'd start with 1,000. He got a big bunch out. He didn't count them. He had no idea, but it was a lot. And he put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Then he gave me a 5-gallon bucket of rabbit manure mixed with straw for $20. You know, I have bought worms since then, but only when I was selling them to local tackle shops. I had to come up with more worms. But that old farmer, he told me, he said, he wasn't much into talking, but he did say, I'll give you some advice. He said, don't overfeed them, don't over care for them. He said, water them now and then, and don't disturb them, just leave them alone. He said, the more you work on them, the more you mess with them, less active they're going to be. Well, you know, I didn't know anything about worms. I take his advice pretty well all my life. I did what he told me way back then. You know, you just get you a bin, I don't know, anywhere, just few dollars, $5 or $6 for a bin, and I don't drill holes or nothing. I put one little hole in the bottom for drain so it don't drown. Then I put them on something where it can drain into it if I bring it in. But for bedding, you just use cardboard. I soak it a while, maybe overnight, maybe a few minutes, whatever. Maybe shred it up a little bit. Then I have a shredder for all my ladders, paper, whatever. I just shred it up, and then wood chips, coffee grounds, all that stuff. But I tell you, when you first start, they say, you know, coconut coil and stuff like that. That's real good, but you don't have to have that. You can get dirt out of your yard and start them out and just add to it. You know, they would do good if you just put them in something, make sure they get water. You can just feed them. You can feed them practically any scraps that you come off your table, anything just about, you know. I'm not going to go through all of what you don't feed, just citrus, onions, you don't throw that in there. Anything else you can put in there. But again, don't overfeed them. I've made that mistake before. And you can put bananas on top of the dirt, come back a week and it's gone. You know, it's fun to watch that. But I advise to put it either under the dirt or covered up, because it'll draw flies and ants and other pests. I really don't buy any kind of worm meal or nothing like that. I mean, I really don't see no reason to. And I get scraps. If you get too big like I did, I just kept growing and going. As long as somebody's willing to buy it, keep growing. And you can get family and friends, get their scraps together. It's kind of messy, but it's free. But just remember to cover them up. And especially in the winter, when you're going to put them down for the winter outside, just cover them up with a lot of mulch. Yeah, you just really get them covered up good and forget about them, man. They'll be fine next spring. They won't multiply, and we won't have like a bunch of eggs or nothing, but they'll definitely be out there when you're ready for them. One more thing I did, when you get big, you don't have to be big to do this, but I'd find old horse stables, you know, somewhere where I see people had horses, and you know, just talk to them. Sometimes they let you, sometimes they wouldn't answer doors, sometimes they'd let you, and get really big piles of horse manure, straw, manure, cow, all mixed together. You have as much as you want. Sometimes they sold it to you, or a truckload. And I have even come up on a big pile, been there for years, and they had more worms in it than I had in some of my piles. I'd come back with another truckload, and sometimes I'd box them up and sell them to the tackle shop just right out of there, right out of the farmer's field. Another thing you can do is, which I do, I used to have maybe up to a dozen rabbits at a time. Not that I really want to take care of a bunch of rabbits, but the manure is great. Just make sure the urine gets out of there. Well, these are just some guidelines, and I guarantee you, if you go by these guidelines, relax, take it easy, enjoy yourself. It's hard work, but there's a lot of money to be made. I mean, some people can even make a living at it, especially as a part-time job. It's great and easy, and it's fun.